So on today's expose, we are featuring Toad. Yes. And he first appeared in the X-Men number 4, March 1964, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So he's a very old character. And his alter ego, his name is Mortimer Toynbee. That's a fun one. And he's affiliated with the Brotherhood and lots of other things, but his powers are crazy. It says expert kickboxer, mechanic, superhuman length, so he can like jump really high. He's got a prehensile tongue strength and endurance, superhuman agility. He has regeneration, or moderate regeneration, so it's nothing like Wolverine's, but moderate. And he's got venom secretion, mucus secretion, adhesive gluey spit, all kinds of gross stuff. He's got lung strength. Oh, like when the frog go ribbon, and then you see their belly go. It's like that.
Ew.
And he can communicate with basic level amphibians, or on a basic level with amphibians. Wow. I didn't realize he had all these abilities.
I didn't even notice he had that last one either. That's new to me.
Yeah. And I was wondering, like, I feel like he evolved over time. Like, did he start with all of these abilities, or did, like, as things changed throughout the comics, did he start gaining new ones?
Yeah, he's a weird character. He definitely evolved a lot of these over time, but they didn't really, like, put it in the story so much. It just kind of happened fluidly. One of the funniest things to me, though, with Toad is when he was first created, he's the Toad we all are used to, like the one from Pride of the X-Men, like ugly and kind of chunky and gross.
His jester outfit.
Yeah. But then when he was put into live action into the X-Men movie, they got like the sexiest actor, Ray Park, to play him. So then everybody's like, oh, Toad's not so ugly. So there is
sexy
actually...
and reptilian.
Yeah. There's actually, I think it's 5 parts, if I remember right. There's a 5-part series called X-Men Forever, where in like the early 2000s, they went through and they answered a lot of the questions that people had or things that didn't make sense. So in X-Men Forever, they actually explain how Toad like evolved into being kind of sexy and kind of skinnier and different looking, and that's kind of the design they went with a lot after that.
Yep. I dig it.
I dig it.
I go where I wanna go. Jean!
Scott!
Jean?
Scott! I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a boomer!
All right, welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Shawn. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X fan myself, Kevin.
Yay! Kevin.
Yeah.
So I made a mistake last week. I don't know. I don't think too many people noticed it, but I posted last week's question 2 weeks ago. So like 4 people voted on which morph they liked before I took it down.
I know I was one of them. I think I voted on one of them.
Okay, yeah. So sorry to those who voted 2 weeks ago on morph. That was supposed to be this last week's question, but I was getting everything ready since I was going to be on my trip to Vegas, and I accidentally posted 1 week in advance. But the birthday trip with Vegas was a great success. We saw the O by Cirque du Soleil. We did the Rugrats room, which I posted pictures from. That was so much fun. They played the music while we were solving things. It was amazing. And then we saw RuPaul's Drag Race live. And part of my problem is like 5 years ago, I went to Vegas and I got so drunk, I fell asleep in the bed. And everybody went and saw Yara Sofia, who's one of my favorite queens. And I rued the day. Rude.
Oh.
And she was there, Kevin. She was in RuPaul's Drag Race live. So I finally got to see Yara Sofia.
Yay!
So yeah, it's a fun trip. But I'm back and we're doing X-Men now.
The pictures looked great. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So last week's question was, which morph do you like best? Do you like dark hair morph, light hair morph, evil morph, or gender neutral morph? My friend Rachel, when she looked at these, she's like, dark hair morph and light hair morph look the same. And you call him light hair morph, but his hair's not even that light. I'm like, they look different. It's different color hair.
Yeah, watch the episode. It's totally different.
Yeah. So, let's see. Dark hair morph came in dead last with only 6 votes, 14%.
Okay.
Light hair morph came in third with 10 votes, 24%. This got close, but I'm very happy with the winner. Evil morph got 11 votes, 26%. And gender neutral morph got 15 votes, 36%.
That's exciting. I mean, it is a really cool design. I gotta admit, I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it matches his personality more because I've never liked the way Morph was designed. He's so kind of like ugly, like rickety
Like
old
emo.
man looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see him as a more like lighthearted, fun looking character in the future.
Nice.
Yeah. So today, no Genegasm updates. I didn't get a chance to watch any old shows because she's been busy having too much fun.
That's
But
true.
today we're covering Secrets Not Long Buried. And this aired February 17th, 1996, written by Mark Onspa, directed by Larry Houston.
Cool.
Fair warning, this is a cameotastic episode.
Oh my gosh. I know. I didn't know who they all were, but I knew a bunch of things appeared. I was like, oh, this is a cameo time. I know this is going to happen. So,
Yep. So you may hear that a few times. Sexy Xy's cameo.
All right. A scorpions through the desert. I was very excited by the scorpion. As a Scorpio, I was like, I feel represented.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it's scorpions through the desert as Scott flies an X-jet by overhead. He reports in to Professor X that he's looking for Dr. Prescott at Skull Mesa, a doctor from his past. We get a flashback of Xavier and Scott listening to Prescott explain his dream of seeing mutants live side by side with humans. The 2 kids with Prescott show their powers. And I was like, okay, so we got one that can make things glow, like light up pretty, and another one that can make like rocks. Is that what I'm getting at?
So, yeah, this was confusing. I looked it up because these kids are original to the show, so they do not show up in comics, and neither does Dr. Prescott. I couldn't find him anywhere.
Okay.
So the kids are Andrew and Nicole. Andrew can create statues, so I think he was turning the plant into a statue, but they didn't really show it.
But it's all like
just
glowing. All the statues just glow. And even like when they combined the powers together, it was just like a statue that glowed, like lighty up, sparkly statue.
When they made the statue of Prescott and the 2 kids, the kids did it together. So he made the statue, and Nicole can create diamond objects. So she made it glowy and diamond.
Oh, because I thought hers would be more like the statue power. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave them weird powers. And I did laugh at your boy because Nicole's showing off her power and stuff. And then Scott's just blasting it. He just starts blasting her power. What a jerk.
She's like, no. Well, I was like, I don't want that stuff coming on to me. Like, I don't want it to turn me into some weird rock thing.
True.
I don't blame him. Like, don't make me take over the whole
out
house.
Of control.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a tease for you.
Oh.
Have you ever wondered, maybe some of the Sexy Xy's know, but have you ever wondered why Scott's head never recoils when he shoots his power?
Oh, you know, like backwards.
Yeah, because he's blasting all the shit out of his eyes. How come he's not like blasting back? And I have an answer for you at the end of the episode.
Okay. I never even thought about it, but yeah, cool.
All right. And Scott is going to Skull Mesa, which I'm like, that does not sound welcoming as it is. Like, that already sounds evil.
It's like Skull Rock from Peter Pan. Like, is that where we're going?
Yeah. All right. Scott exits his reverie and continues to fly on through the desert. He has another flashback of Andrew and Nicole making a statue for Professor X. Scott gives us some exposition about Dr. Prescott wanting to fly under the radar as he builds a community for mutants. Back in the present, Watchdog reads Cyclops' mind. He's ordered to shoot down the plane. Scott crashes in the desert, but he lives by narrowly ejecting the crashing jet. Guyliner dude dressed as Courtney Love watches the crash on a mini TV and as he says, "Scratch one, troublemaker." Ha ha ha. All right, so Courtney Love dude is Solarr. Solarr first appeared in Captain America number 160 in 1973. His name is Silas King. And it is kind of fun because he was stranded in the desert when he first activated his solar mutation. So he can absorb the sunlight and then dispel it as like blasts. So he did eventually get killed, but he got resurrected and he's been living on Krakoa. So there's your little lesson.
Okay, so it's his power is very similar to the Summers, then, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I did count a 90s moment.
Man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
Whatever the fuck this device is that Solarr is using, it looked very 90s.
Yeah, I call them Mascara Man, but yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it so thick? I don't know. Just wear a mask.
Yeah.
All right. What was I going to say about this scene, too? This was the one where he crashed. Okay, so I have a few things. First of all, this watchdog, I called him Mr. T Dog.
He does look like Mr. T Dog.
I was expecting him to talk like, period of one. Then he's like, oh, your brain should be in high gear now. I'm like, oh. It was weird. I didn't compute for a minute there. But it was fun.
Yeah.
And then I thought about too, like how traumatizing this must be for Scott. Here he is falling out of an aircraft again, and you know it's interesting because him falling out of an aircraft before is kind of what sparked his powers to come out, and now it's like blocked his powers. I mean, not really, but that's what he would be thinking. So it's just an interesting kind of parallel player. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that. I love when you notice this stuff.
well, thank you. All right. And I loved the little lizard, his little friendly lizard that came to see him.
Yeah.
All right, so scene 3. In the desert, after the little lizard says hello, Scott comes to. He realizes his powers are gone. He tries the jet phone. Scott begins walking the desert to find Skull Mesa. And he also pulls out a spare pair of glasses. Even though they're not needed anymore, he's like, this is my look, so I need a spare pair of glasses. Just then, a man with a He-Man haircut drives by. He's Daryl Tanaka. He nearly hits Scott with his Jeep. With his Jeep, but stops. Scott hitches a ride without asking. He's like, "Didn't you see me, bitch?" Like,
yeah, what a jerk.
Like, what was I supposed to stop for you? Sorry. And they head to Skull Mesa together.
Yep. So this is my second 90s moment.
Man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
Whatever the fuck that jet phone was, because that looked very 90s as well.
That's true.
Okay, I don't know about you, but this episode gives me, I know I'm coming from a certain angle, I'm gay, but Scott and Daryl seem very, coupley in this episode to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. As they drive into town together, people start closing up shop. Daryl tells Scott that the people of Skull Mesa don't like strangers. This triggers a flashback for Scott. He's playing baseball, and right when he's about to catch the ball, his power activates and destroys it. A distressed young Scott is chased until he runs into Dr. Prescott. The good doctor shoos the other kids away. Dr. Prescott takes Scott back to his home for ice cream.
Oh. Come to my home with my maid is gonna give us ice cream.
Yeah.
My lady friend. But I'm all about the children. Yeah.
My lady friend. Ew.
All right. I know. All right, scene 5. Back in the present, Daryl and Scott arrive at Daryl's home. The two enter Daryl's home to look at Scott's head. No homo. Turns out Daryl is a doctor and a coroner. I thought that was so
Pretty good.
random. It was like, why are you saying that? He's like, you must be good. He's like, yeah, I'm a coroner too. You have to do double duty here. But they don't really seem connected. It's almost like, just in case you start dying here, I'll be on the job.
Well, maybe he's a really bad doctor. So many people die that he just turned into a coroner too.
Maybe. I was really quite unsettled by that delivery of like, oh, all right,
yeah,
sure. Daryl picks up keys and starts waving them in the window for reasons. He's like, I got the keys.
It's like, what are you doing?
Scott isn't amused. He's like, shut up and stop doing stupid shit. He knows something is up. He storms out to find Dr. Prescott. Daryl sadly watches Scott leave from behind his window. Tears on my pillow.
Very bad. Okay. As Scott walks into town, the people of Skull Mesa freak the fuck out and run.
It cracked me up. It cracked me up because the guy goes like, it's like, what the? And the guy's like, ah! Like, what are you doing? Like, that was the weirdest reaction.
Cyclops walks past a lumbering mutant working as a mechanic. He continues on to an old-looking house where he greets a green woman. She runs away. Just then, Solarr, Bill Braddock. Wait a minute, Kevin, I thought we said his name was Silas King. Bill Braddock, I guess.
Oh. Is
I
that
couldn't
Bill
find why
Braddock
they
have
changed his
other
name.
significance? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, because Braddock is the name of, the Captain America, Jamie Braddock, Psylocke line. So I don't know if they did it for that reason, but he's not a Braddock.
Oh, lies. You are not in my family. Stop vicking my
family.
family.
Not with that hair and that guy liner.
No.
Well,
And why
anyway,
yellow
just
and red for your outfit? It's not McDonald's.
Yeah, he just looked like Ronald McDonald. There's our image for this week.
You're welcome.
Thank you. you. Just then, Bill Braddock shows up with Chet Lambert and Toad. Solarr politely offers to help Scott leave Skull Mesa. Scott asks Solarr about Taylor Prescott. The trio tells Scott that Prescott, this is going to get Scott and Prescott, that Prescott moved. Scott doesn't buy it. Why would the doctor invite Scott just before moving? Would you like your next cameo?
Yes, please.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
So the mechanic is Tusk. He's from X Factor 65. He first appeared in April 1991. It's actually slightly not correct that he would be in this town. Would you like to know why?
Sure.
Because he is not a mutant. He is an inhuman, which was, it came out later. So at first he was alongside mutants, but later it was said that he was inhuman. So I won't hate on it too much.
Okay.
But his power, so he's actually a small worm-like creature who's able to make like the big husking thing up around him. So that's like his exoskeleton. And then he can make the little mini-me's pop out of his back.
Oh, yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah.
All right. I have some stuff about this scene too, because I don't really know all these characters. So I called Chet, put on some pants, Chet. A skeezy Alan Grant.
Okay, I can see that.
He's like, yes, yes. That's all I say is yes. But I really enjoyed this conversation between them because both of them were patronizing each other, and it was like awkward but fun to watch. Scott's like, no, a helpful man like you. Like, crack me up. I love it.
So I was going to ask you, but I think I already know, but how do you like Solarr, Chet, and Toad so far?
Toad was the only one I recognized. So I knew him right away. But no, they're just slimy. They give you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, Solarr is not a very popular or much used villain. Like I think I only remember seeing him a handful of times, and Chet is original to the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of original stuff. Oh, and Watchdog is also original to this episode.
Wow. So Mr. T and Alan Grant, definitely inspired by 90s and 80s things, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And the green lady, she doesn't even get a name. She's Lady Gardener.
I called her Jolly Green Giantess.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I
don't know my nicknames.
I'll call her Poison One Ivy.
Nice. Scott pulls up to Dr. Lambert's home driving Daryl's Jeep. That's nice of Daryl.
Yeah.
You can borrow it. I'm just a doctor. I don't need it.
If you crash, I'm also a coroner.
Yes. He runs up the stairs dramatically to the front door. He enters to find green goo everywhere. Plotch.
Plotch.
You get that if you listen to Words of the Witches.
Yeah, there you go. If you want more context. Scott comes home to Daryl and faces him down. He demands answers about Prescott. Daryl tells Scott that there's nothing he can do just then. Or nothing he can do. Just then, Chet, Toad, and Solarr show up. Toad secretes a mucus to ensnare Scott.
Ooh, ensnare the senses.
No.
All right. The trio takes Scott to an underground cave where they are keeping Prescott. Solarr explains that Prescott is alive, but being held in a state of suspended animation by Toad's secretions. Scott threatens that he has friends that will look for him. He's like, you can't keep me here. I've got friends. Scott tells them he's a mutant, but Solarr don't care. Solarr explains that 3 came there to hide, but didn't leave once they found Prescott was on top of a literal gold mine. We be rich. We be keeping it, you know. When Scott disagrees with the plan, Solarr blasts him and sends him on his way. Okay.
Would you like your next cameo?
Cameo. Let's do it.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
So in this mine, we see Forearm, who's the guy with 4 arms, Random, Sunder, and Slither. Slither's like the lizard-looking guy.
Okay.
Here's the thing that's kind of sad to me. Here's where I feel like cameos do not work well in this episode. Because I know for a fact that, well, Sunder is the big, like, Morlock guy. So we already know, like, he's a Morlock living in the sewers. And I know for a fact we saw Random, Sunder, and Slither at Asteroid M. So these poor mutants went up to space.
Oh my gosh.
It got shot down, and now they've been enslaved in this community.
Poor. They just can't find a mutant connection, like, community of their own. Like, that's all they want. They just want a place where they can belong and live and be free. And, sad. I feel so bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It gets sad because you're like, these poor characters. And then some of the mutants or Morlocks are even on in the Come the Apocalypse episode when the Morlocks got turned into the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So no peace.
Oh.
No peace.
No peace.
All right. Scott Weekly comes home to Daryl. Yeah, for some reason, they like shot Scott and then just let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, I thought they have him already. Okay.
Yeah. So Daryl helps Scott into a chair and brings him a meal, just like a good partner should.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl explains that Solarr had Watchdog shut down all communications in or out of Skull Mesa. And Daryl tells Scott when Solarr showed up, no one but Prescott was brave enough to stand up to him. Now everyone just lives in fear.
Yeah, and this is where Scott demands that Daryl help him. He's like, "You gotta come, please. These people need you." And he's like, "I can't." And then he's like, "And how can you call yourself a doctor?" And I'm like, I don't think that's really related, but it's like as if fighting social injustice was part of the degree. I don't know, but sure.
I like that.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, 11. Scott goes back to speak to Tusk. Which one's that again?
Tusk is the big, brown-looking guy with the horns on his back who makes little...
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I remember. Okay. Tusk already knows who Scott is. Tusk tells him he wants to help. He likes Prescott even, but he can't. Scott tells Scott that revolution starts with just one man. Wait. Scott tells Tusk.
Or Scott tells Tusk, yeah.
Tusk tells Scott. Yeah. All right. Scott tells Tusk that revolution starts with just one man. Tusk tells Scott he has a wife and kids to think about. Just then, Chet shows up, and he's like, "How's the wife and kids?" How very... Yeah, you're just eavesdropping on me the whole time. Yeah. Scott leaves.
So here's another cameo that for me works against the show, because I'm glad Tusk is here. We don't really get to ever see Tusk in media, but it's just weird as a fan because Tusk is always a really dark villainy type guy. He was working for Apocalypse, and then Strife killed Apocalypse, so then he was working for Strife. He's just always worked for really asshole guys. So seeing him here be like, "Yeah, I'm married, I have some kids," I'm like, what? What's going on? He's just not the character I would expect to be in this kind of role.
Yeah.
All right. Scott next goes to Lady Gardener's house, pours in wine ivy. She doesn't want to hear it and tells him to leave. Scott turns to leave and sees Chet and Toad waiting for him. They once again offer to get Scott a ride out of town. Scott looks around to see everyone shutting their doors to him. Scott gets mad and tries to fight Chet and Toad, but without his powers, they easily dispatch him, Kevin.
Oh, I love it.
Would you like your next cameo?
Please, let's do it. Cameo.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. I'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
The people closing their doors, we see Ape, who's one of the Morlocks. We see Copycat, who we also saw in the Asteroid M episodes. And we see Mole. Mole is not only a Morlock, but he's the one who got beat up all the way back in season 2 by the
Wow.
Friends of Humanity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these poor characters.
These peoples. All right, 13. Meanwhile, in the desert, Scott sits alone atop a mesa. He reflects on not wanting his powers, but without them, he may not be able to stand up to Solarr and his goons. Scott decides to go back and face Solarr with or without his powers. Mutants watch from windows as Scott returns. Solarr, Chet, Toad, and Forearm, oh, that's a new one, move to intercept. Oh, that's the other one. I remember seeing him, yeah. To intercept Scott. Solarr orders Toad and Chet to take Scott to the center of the town. And then Toad spits on him and then or waves his little sticky hands on him. And then Scott tries to fight them off, but he is easily dispatched.
This is disturbing. Scott wakes up to a full view of Toad's ugly face. Toad is busy at work secreting all over Scott.
I mean, I told you I am a fan of that normally, but not in this case.
Not in this case. Solarr calls forth all of the Skull Mesa inhabitants to watch as he shames Scott. He tells them that the statue Scott has with him is a transmitter. Solarr tells everyone that Watchdog blocked Scott's signal before he could call in for help. Scott tells them he's here to help Prescott, but he's still met with enmity until Tusk stands up against Solarr. Yay! Somebody stood up against Solarr.
Oh.
So, would you like your next cameo?
Yeah, here we go. The next one.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. I'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
So, we have Peepers, who's a Morlock with the big eyes. We have Arclight, who we also saw in the Asteroid M episode. We have Reaper, who this is his first appearance. Strobe, she's wearing a gold outfit with red hair. And this last one, to me, I don't know. I guess I'm being a bitchy fan this episode, but this character's always been so cool to me, Kevin, and he's relegated to background scenery. There's this guy named Senyaka. He was one of the acolytes at one point, and he's got this really cool red hood on, red, almost like a turban that goes all the way over his face. He's got this really cool electric whip thing that he uses.
Wow.
And we didn't get to see him do anything in this episode. We didn't even get to see him fight, and he's so cool. So again,
cool.
I'm glad we got him, but I would have liked to see him in action.
Yeah. Tusk rushes to Scott's aid as a battle breaks out. Solarr is keeping Scott and Tusk down until Lady Gardner, jolly green giantess, shields them with plans. Daryl returns Scott's powers, and the town joins. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you can fix that. Here's what I should have done a long time ago. And the town joins in against Solarr, Toad, and Chet. Together, everyone, all at once. Everywhere, all at once. Wait. Yeah. Everyone, everywhere, all at once. They easily dispatch their captors. Watchdog announces, I fixed the transmitter and called for help. That voice coming out of him is still weird to me.
I know.
Daryl returns Prescott to health, and they decided to lock up the three in Skull Mesa.
Yay! Happy ending.
Yay. Mm-hmm.
Scott gives Prescott the statue, and Tusk breaks down the Solarr statue to make room for it. Prescott and Scott walk off together to get ice cream, a fitting reward for a job well done.
Yes. I'm surprised they didn't touch their penises together like Coop and Cole.
I know. It's a very gay episode. It feels like that.
Yeah.
So, how do we feel about this episode?
I really liked it, actually. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, because of my Psyche Poo is like a main character. But yeah, it was. I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen before in other medias, but it's still. I was still very fulfilled by it. So.
Okay, so are you expecting or extreming?
I'm extreming it. Yes,
Wow.
I'm extreming it.
So the first time in Solving for X herstory, I wildly disagree with you because I am Xing it out.
Oh my gosh! No.
I just think this episode is so random, like because random's in it. But as an X fan, it doesn't like really pull from any of the comics. It just is a lot of original characters. I've always thought the story's weird. Like, how did Scott's powers go away? Like, why is Solarr there? Why did you use Solarr out of all the villains we could have used? Why is Scott in Daryl's Jeep? Like, I just never liked this episode.
Oh wow! I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. So interesting. Well, maybe when I get into my X Factor and my expose or X was it? No expose. MXP. Yeah,
MXP.
Yeah. When I do those, I'll talk about why
and
I like it.
It's fair that you like it more than me because you love Cyclops and I don't.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our MXP then. I want to hear.
Cool. Well, my MXP is obviously Cyclops because who else would it be?
Yeah.
But it's fitting too because even if it wasn't there's other people around, I think I'd still pick him because Scott is. I mean, he's quick to discourse in here. He's very, mad at everything, which is like him. But I also commend him for being privy to the things that are amok. He can sense when something isn't quite right, and he uses his instincts to get down to the bottom of things. He's observant enough to see the signs. And Scott, in this episode too, Scott does a deep dive, and he knows that he has so much life to live still, and there's life worth fighting for, and he believes that the lives of the people in the town are worth fighting for too. And that is a really powerful thing and a really beautiful moment for him as a character and for the town in general. So yes, Cyclops.
I love that, but I'm still not moving my rating. It's still an X out.
It's fine.
But I love that you got that from this episode, and I can see why you would appreciate it more with that message.
Yeah.
So for the first time in Solving for X herstory, I'm not going to give it to one of our leads, Kevin, because I could only give it to Cyclops. And I don't know. I really appreciate, even though I already knocked him down a little bit, but I appreciate in the context of the show that Tusk is this hulking monster, but he's still been able to find love. He still has kids. And he's the first one that joined in on we need to get rid of Solarr. Like, he's the real monster. Look at the way he dresses. Look at his hair. We need to get rid of him. So I appreciated Tusk in this episode, even though it was a wild difference from him in the comics.
Okay.
All right. And did you notice Kang in this episode?
No.
Okay, good. He wasn't in it, so I don't know what you were noticing if you did.
I mean, there's lots of other cameos. There's lots, but I did not see him.
You're right. What would you say is the X factor?
All right. Okay. It's definitely the people in Skull Mesa uprising because they were living in fear. And yes, this is a bug's life. Yes, this is the Charmed episode, the good, the bad, and the cursed. Yes, it's all that stuff. But it's still super satisfying to me because these mutants combined their powers and they realized that they are stronger than their oppressors. And I still like got like the feels. I'm like, yes, you go. I love you, Jolly Green Giantess. Like, yes.
No, I agree. That's mine too, because you're right. Because most people treat the X-Men like they're villains or terrorists, but we see over and over again, even amongst his own people, mutants, even being shunned, he still does what's right. So I do love that message. And you're right, it does say a lot, especially looking at all the cults we have on Once Upon a Cult. Like, sometimes you just wish, like, I wish this group rose up against this leader and all this stuff wouldn't have happened. So I agree.
Yeah.
I like your X Factor.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so I've been teasing you all episode and you didn't even remember. I need to answer what's actually going on with Scott's power, why he doesn't recoil.
Yes, tell me.
So according to the Marvel Handbook, Scott actually is not able to produce the optic blast that he shoots out of his eyes. What's actually happening, the way to describe it, this is so weird. His eyes are actually portals to another dimension that is made up of infinite power. So when he is shooting his optic blast, he's actually just opening portals to another dimension and shooting out that energy.
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. So what does the sun have to do with it then?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because here I thought it was just absorbing the sun's energy and channeling it back out. That's weird.
Yeah, I thought I've heard that too, because that's what Havoc does. He absorbs energy and refocuses it. So it goes against that, the way that that's been explained. So I would go more with that than the Marvel Handbook way.
Crazy.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that though. All right, so for our previously on, I'm going to keep it simple this week. I simply want to know, do you like Solarr's outfit?
Well, I think we already know the answer to that one.
Yeah, for us, we definitely answered that. Let's see how people answer it, though. So next week, I think you'll be happy to know our next episode is called Nightcrawler. What do you think happens in Nightcrawler?
Let me guess. I think we might find Nightcrawler being religious and coming upon some X-Men and being like, I'm Nightcrawler. And we find out it's just, like they just talked to him and things happen. I don't know.
Yeah. So this actually, Nightcrawler was an episode that Eric Lewald talked a lot about when I saw him live, because they actually did some things in Nightcrawler that was kind of unheard of for a children's cartoon at the time. So I'm excited to talk about it with you next week.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah. But if people get bored and want to hear more of you before next week, where can they hear more?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Words of the Witches is back. We're doing season 10. It's officially happening. We're in the season 10 comic books. We just had an interview with Pat Shan, the writer of season 10 as well. So that's very exciting. And yeah, we're just underway and doing that. Words of the Witches. It's groovy. Otherwise, you can find me at my personal Instagram, KGZ87, where I'm just doing my random things. Yay.
Yay. And you can find me this week on Once Upon a Cult. We talk about the New Testament Christian Church, which is not what you think it would be underneath the surface.
It's not where you think.
It's not where you think it'd be. We're talking about her in Vegas, and I told my friends about how you always bring her up, and you always crack me up. Also, we'll be back this coming Monday with Marvelous Galaxy of Disney with some new news for you. And you can find my book on Amazon, Witch's Brew, A Dream of Waking. Yay!
Woohoo!
It's not where you think it'd be. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week, Sexy Xyz with Nightcrawler.
Sexy X's. Ooh, Bamf.
Bam.
Bamf.